Every year as the festive season approaches, the big question returns. Will there be a white Christmas? Our obsession with white Christmases have been around for a long time, even before Bing Crosby famously dreamt of it. There was a cluster of a few really cold Christmases in the 1830s and early 1840s, shortly before the publication of A Christmas Carol in 1843, perhaps cementing snow as part of our festive imagination. It's a dream for many of us, but how realistic is it? Let's explore the facts, dispel some myths, and uncover the truth about the chances of opening those curtains on a Christmas morning to a magical flurry of snow. Firstly, let's clarify what we even mean by a white Christmas. Here at the Met Office, we define it as just one snowflake observed during the 24 hours of Christmas Day itself. That means it doesn't need to be a blanket of snow covering your garden to count. Just that one singular snowflake, and remember, it can be anywhere in the UK. Over the last 60 years, 80% of Christmases have been declared as a white Christmas, but this hefty stat becomes far fewer when you take out a specific location. Take London, for example. Over the last 60 years, just 10% have been white Christmases, and this hasn't happened since 1999. Wanting more than just one snowflake? Well, the chances of you getting your sledge out and for the UK to see a widespread snow is much rarer. The last time we saw this was in 2010, where there was snow on the ground at 83% of observing stations. If you remember this, let us know in the comments. White Christmases used to be more common, but in 1752, the calendar changed and this brought Christmas back 12 days earlier, making it even less likely for it to snow. On average, we're more likely to see snow in January and February than in December, with snow actually settling on the ground an average of 3 days in December compared to 3.3 days in January and 3.4 days in February. Climate change has also brought higher temperatures on average over land and sea, which is another factor that goes against us opening our curtains to a flurry on Christmas morning. A change in temperature of just 1 degree Celsius can be the difference between the chance to build a beautifully formed snowman and the joys of a sleety, slushy day. That's why forecasting snow weeks in advance is extremely tricky. Temperature change is impacted by lots of different factors, and you can find out more on this in our Why is Snow Tricky to Forecast video, which is linked in the description. Now, one of the easiest forecasts for this winter is that we will see headlines popping up about a guaranteed snow or a big freeze on the way. These online headlines often come weeks or months ahead, but where on earth do they get their information from? Well, forecast models from a range of organisations are available in the public domain for free, and sometimes a single model run, often for weeks away, gets used to suggest when snow will occur. However, one-off individual weather charts for weeks away cannot represent a definitive forecast anywhere near the certainty that some media outlets apply to them. Here at the Met Office, we have the experts, trained meteorologists that are digging into these models and trying to capture the nuance between the different charts and models are suggesting. These then pull all of this together to create a forecast that demonstrates the most likely outcome. Presenters like myself can then add a layer of explanation behind this to cover off any uncertainties and details. So while the headlines may grab your attention, it's always best to check trusted sources like the Met Office for reliable updates, especially as it gets closer to the big day itself. While lots of us hope for festive snow, it's important to be prepared for winter weather. Check out the Met Office website linked in the description for tips on staying safe during the winter months. So, will it snow this Christmas? Only time and the forecast will tell. Stay up to date by subscribing to the Met Office YouTube channel and check out our website for the latest updates. If you enjoyed this video, you may be interested in watching this animated explainer from Aidan, explaining the ins and outs of why snow is so tricky to forecast. Now hit the like button, subscribe, and for all of those that celebrate, enjoy your festive plans.